Welcome to the Northern OBX Podcast. From wild horses to small town legends, this is where stories, history, nature, and everyday life come together. Each episode is a front porch conversation with the people and places that give this stretch of North Carolina its soul. Whether you've been coming here for years or just found it on a map, pull up a chair. You're in for a good story. Hello everyone and welcome to the Northern OBX Podcast. I'm your host Miles Daniels, and it is a privilege today to be joined by Wendy Murray, part of the leadership team here at H2OBX, the only full-scale water park on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Wendy, it's great to be with you today.
Looking forward to our conversation.
I am as well, and we could not have picked a more beautiful day. For those listening, we're actually right here at the water park. Background is this amazing, what do they call
Lazy
this?
River.
Lazy river, which is exactly where I would be if I were here not having the conversation with you this morning. But Wendy, great to be with you. Tell us a little bit about H2OBX Waterpark. You've been here a few years?
I have. I've been here. This is my sixth season. I joined the team in 2021 after COVID. We actually opened in 2017, but we did close a year because of COVID, so this is actually our 9th season. So, and we will be celebrating our 10th anniversary next year.
What is, and we won't spend too much time on the history, but I assume what inspired it is the fact, like I said, there's no full scale. I grew up in this area, and we had a couple of places around the Outer Banks with 2 or 3 water slides, that sort of thing, but nothing, and it's deceptively large. I was going to say this as part of the podcast. It's right off of Highway 158, and if you're driving to the Outer Banks, you're seeing the eastern side, I think, of the park. But once you get inside of the park, how large is it?
Yeah, so the park actually has about 30 different water features and attractions and slides, as well as 6 food and beverage outlets. So it is quite large. We always say we have our own billboard from the bypass there, but once you get in, it's you're correct, it's deceptively large.
So you said 30 rides across roughly 20
acres,
20 acres,
so
15 or so football fields. I
yeah,
think the
there
football
you
field is 1.3. So you said, so as far as when we're thinking about the Outer Banks, obviously attracts large groups and families. This is really a perfect way to spend a vacation day on the Outer Banks.
It sure is. I mean, it's very multi-generational, very much of a resort feel. Everybody can come and enjoy it, whether they want to enjoy the rides or not. They can float, they can have some shade, they can watch the grandkids play, the baby can take a nap. As you see, some of these cabanas here are great for that as well, because the family unit can kind of, make it a full day. They can arrive at 10 and they can play until 6, and the baby can take a nap, and people can come and go, and they have a spot, and they can eat and enjoy each other's company. So it's really about making memories for the family.
I love that. So walk us through, you said close at 6, open at 10 a.m., 7 days a week.
We are, yes.
And that's during the summer months.
The summer months, so Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Memorial to Labor Day.
Uh-huh.
Let's talk about those cabanas.
Yeah.
I know some are full service. You can rent those online. How many cabanas and how many do they hold?
Yeah, so we have 55 cabanas. 35 of those are service cabanas, so that means that you would have a server that would come and assist you with ordering, bringing your orders, even your bar order from Flyboys or your food and beverage order from Outer Banks Eats. And then we have the additional ones are non-service, which means that they're a nice spot for you to gather, have your stuff, everybody knows where to come back to, but there's not going to be a server. The service ones, there's 8-person, and they are also going to include water as well as an AM and a PM snack. And then the 12-person, which are called the deluxe ones, same thing, they're also going to have a TV. So your dad, no excuse, you can still on a Sunday afternoon watch, your PGA golf.
Sure. And in spite of cabanas, I mean, again, the property is just amazing. It's beautiful. It's clean. Plenty of lounge chairs. Plenty of places for groups and families to gather while they're here during the day. And we were talking earlier, how many lifeguards do you employ here at the water park?
We
I think that's very
about
important. Water
200.
safety is paramount.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the most important. And we do employ about 200 lifeguards throughout the summer season. They're all going to be trained, CPR trained. We're Ellis property, so they're all going to be trained with Ellis Associates. They do go through in-service, so they are required to have a certain number of hours every month to continue that training. So absolutely, most important thing we do is the safety of our employees and of our guests.
And we know you're seasonal. How many employees roughly during those summer months?
Yeah, about 400 is what we would employ in a summer, yeah.
So one of the largest, I think we can fact check this, but I think one of the largest employers on the certainly the mainland,
I would say
Northern
so.
Outer Banks.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite thing? If folks are like, Wendy, what's the perfect day at the water park?
Well, it's definitely different to work and play for sure. But yeah, I think floating down this river is a nice way to relax. I think the cabanas are a great way to have those, family memories. I actually don't love heights, but I do love thrills. So I think the family rides are great because the neat thing about those is that it's a big raft. It will hold up to 6 people, so 3 to 6 people. And you're kind of all looking at each other, so you can see the facial expressions, you can hear the screams, and I just think that's like a fun memory. Over here on the A Tower, there's going to be a number of different rides over there, and they're all a little different. The one on the 3rd level there is going to be either Paradise Plunge or the Plank, and those are the ones that are the body slides. The floor is going to drop out. You're just going to go 6 floors deep, just screaming down, and those are really for your thrill seekers.
I mean, outside of our lighthouses, these might be the tallest structures, right?
Yeah,
certainly on the Northern Outer Banks outside of the
And getting there is, you got to climb those stairs. There's no elevator up, so you're getting your workout in.
How high is that? Not to put you on the spot.
Oh, goodness. I think it's the 6 stories.
The 6 stories?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so this is your tallest one. And then you've got how many water slides total here in the park?
Let's see, you got the 2 family ones, and then I believe there's 2, 6, 8 over here on this one, actual water slides. Now, of course, you got Calico Jacks, and there's a slide called Spin Cycle over here. That's a fun one. But then you got a lot of little slides as well. So that's really what makes it attractive for all ages, is even your infant can come into Sand Pail and enjoy like the swings and just being in some little water. They can get a little bit brave as a toddler and go down some of those little slides. And then this whole structure at Calico Jacks, you've got so many water features to play in, slide down, and ropes that you can swing on. And it's a pirate theme. Which is, kind of unique to the Outer Banks.
Which I love the themes. I love the way you've named the rides here. I mean, so I assume that area behind us is pretty much, that's the kid area, the designated.
I would say so. Just because of the attractions that are there, they makes it more kid friendly. We've got some cabanas over there. We've got lounge chairs and big fun umbrellas, and a comfortable place to set up if you're bringing the little ones, and you can really watch them and enjoy it.
Because you get during the peak season, upwards of how many guests are visiting the water park?
You mean during the day?
During the day.
Yeah, I mean it could be 2,500 to close to 3,000 in peak season.
Yeah.
It does ebb and flow based on the weather and the day of the week. But yeah, on a peak day.
Because I think on average, most of our guests come in for an entire week. That's just the nature of the Outer Banks.
That's
Friday,
right.
Saturday, Sunday check-in, Saturday being the busiest of those. Usually 3 or 4 days at the beach, and they're looking for something fun to do, right? I mean, the beach is beautiful, but you have to pack your lunches and deal with the sand and cleaning up afters. Why would you choose H2OBX over a beach day?
Yeah,
I think I know the answer, but what's your...
Well, there's no sand.
Right.
That would be my personal reason. But also, on a day like today, we've got some sun, we've got some clouds. It's a nice place to be, to enjoy. I mean, a cloudy day can be great. Even a rainy day, you're going to get wet anyway. So even if there's a few raindrops in the forecast, who cares? It's kind of fun. Obviously you're not going to have the jellyfish. You're not going to have the little sea gnats. You're not going to, or the sea lice that last year was a big issue. The rip currents. So I think maybe it's even for a mom and dad. It's like, okay, phew, we're at the water park now. We can kind of let them go and explore and have fun. I don't have to worry about, and I've got a lot of lifeguards right in front of them at every place to, assist, and it's, they can kind of, everybody can enjoy and not just be worried about, like you said, the rip currents or other animal life.
Well, the nature of the Outer Banks, we're talking, in terms of barrier islands, I think roughly, 200 miles of barrier islands.
Yeah.
So it's a stretch. So if you're in Corolla or Duck on a day that you're looking for something to do, you're likely going to end up either the Currituck mainland, down in downtown Manio. I mean, you've got to drive, and this is only 3 miles from the Wright Memorial Bridge. Is that right?
That's right.
Right here in Powells Point.
That's
so it's a very short drive to come. You're going to pass it. More than likely, most of our guests are coming from the northeast corridor of the U.S., so you're going to pass it coming down. But then driving back on a Wednesday or Thursday, or after you've had 3 or 4 days at the beach, is not that far for a family to drive.
And a misconception that I do hear, and I think is important, is yes, maybe when they came in on Saturday there was a little bit of traffic, and but once that happens on Saturday, the traffic it flows nice. It's not a big deal on a Wednesday to drive from Corolla to here. They're not going to hit traffic to get here and or to go back.
Right.
So they're not going to have to worry about going through that Duck traffic. That maybe they and I hear that all the time. Once I get on the beach, I'm never leaving the beach. I'm not going to go get into that traffic again. But it's just not like that. I come and go every day.
No, it's not like that. I mean, really, Saturday being the worst, and there's a very brief window.
Yes.
But coming here during the week, you shouldn't have any issues whatsoever. And like I said, it's such a short distance.
Yeah.
From, no matter where you're staying on the Outer Banks.
And many of our guests on a Saturday have figured it out. Come prepared to stop here, spend the day here with us. And then at 5, 6 o'clock, when the traffic is died down and is moved on, then you just, spend the day with us and get in the car and go to your rental house. And now you've had a full day, a fun day, and your vacation started the right way, not in traffic.
Well, that's a good point, because you will have avoided the bottleneck in terms of the traffic there. And then also, most check-in time is 3, 4 o'clock, and that gives you a full day here at the water park. Kids are going to be much happier than sitting in the car.
Exactly.
And on your first day of vacation, you don't have to contend with beach chairs and towels and sand. It's perfect.
Yeah, it really is. We've got showers and changing area if they need it. We've got lots of food and beverage options, so they're not going to go hungry.
So on a given day, I always like behind the scenes, before the park opens, what does it take to get the park open on a daily basis? What's everyone doing to make sure everybody has a great time and stays safe while they're here?
Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't just magically happen.
Right.
We have a fantastic team that works really hard together to do that. Everything from the parking lot, the trash cans that blew over in the middle of the night, to the chairs that might be found in random places because of the wind from a storm overnight, to just making sure everything is just perfect. And some of my favorite time actually is those quiet hours before we open. The music's not playing yet. It's super quiet. Everything is beautiful. It's all the water is running, but it's calm, and it's just kind of like kind of the calm before the storm. But I love it, and I love when it comes to life. I love when the guests arrive and the smiles on the face, and standing at the front row to hear the national anthem. It's this perfect way to start the day. And then it's just like. And then at the end, after everybody's left and you're walking from the front gate to the end, it's like, okay, that was a great day. I made a lot of people happy, meaning us.
Yes.
We made a lot of people happy. We hopefully created a lot of memories, and that's really rewarding. But yeah, there is something about the quiet when people don't ever see the quiet, right? Unless so it's kind of cool.
Well, and also one of the fun things about the Outer Banks is I'm sure you're at a point now where you're seeing families come year after year.
Yes, big hugs.
This is part of that vacation.
For sure. They put it on their itinerary. They reach out to us in advance. They say that they're coming. They have the same cabana every year. They know to book it in advance. They may even have the same server that they've had in the past or request the server. A lot of the lifeguards and a lot of us in leadership are the same. So that's very rewarding for us to see them come back and put that as part of their summer bucket list. Yeah.
Well, and I know this firsthand, a real testament to how wonderful this park is. You have a lot of locals who buy season passes.
Yeah.
We should mention that. So for guests who are visiting, you can purchase your day passes online or here at the park. What is the website?
It's www.H2OBX Waterpark.com.
So that's where you'd get your tickets, rent your cabanas, but you do have a lot of locals who enjoy the park as well. So.
We sure do, and you're welcome to give us a try, and then before you leave that day, you can apply that day's admission to a season pass. And so that's a great way to then continue the summer. It's unlimited visits with that season pass, and you get 20% off your food, non-alcoholic beverage, and retail. And then $10 off for a buddy to come in per visit per pass.
Wow,
so it's a nice benefit. That. Yeah, and our parking's always free.
Wonderful. Wendy, I did read somewhere Mermaid Mondays. Did
yes,
I get that right?
Yes.
We've got to talk about Mermaid Mondays.
Yes.
So I know in addition to the rides, you've got some other fun things here at the park.
We do. So we have every Monday in the peak months, summer months, or weeks, we have Mermaid Monday. So Poppy, the mermaid, will come out and sit in the sand pail and flap her tail, and everybody comes and takes pictures with her. It's just a really special time. And some of the young girls will come dressed in their mermaid bathing suits, or come dressed as Ariel, and it's become a tradition now for them to be here right at 10. We do it Monday from 10 to 12. It's all free, and they you can see them lined up ready to see Poppy the mermaid.
Love that. Yeah. Wendy, as I was walking around, I think it was the south side of the park, I saw a large wave. It wasn't a wave pool. That's the FlowRider.
FlowRider. That's
What's
right.
the FlowRider?
Yes.
I saw you can rent that for private sessions
yes,
as well?
So the FlowRider is part of the attractions of the park, included in your tickets. We do stand-up from 10 to 11 and 5 to 6, so the first hour of the day and the last hour of the day, you can pay $5 and do stand-up during that time. Otherwise, it would be on your knees or on your belly, or bodyboard. And then you can rent it private from 9 to 10 any morning. You can do that online, and it's up to 10 people in that session. And if you already know how to do it, great. We'll have a guard there, but you can just practice. If it's something you really kind of just want to learn without others around, then the guard can certainly assist you. Our flow attendant can assist you to learn how to stand up.
Because from what I've read, H2OBX hosts actual competitions around.
We have in the past.
In the past?
Yes, we have, and we do have a good number of. They call themselves the Flow Gang, and they do compete nationally and as well as internationally, and do very well in those competitions.
Wendy Murray, thank you so much. Part of the leadership team here at H2OBX, a wonderful and the only full-scale water park. Not just Northern Outer Banks, the entire Outer Banks. Thank you for being with us today.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And I hope you get an opportunity to join us.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Here, wild horses roam windswept beaches, and the ocean stretches endlessly before you. Each sunrise brings a new adventure. Each breeze carries the salt and serenity of the sea. Climb our historic red brick lighthouse. Savor fresh seafood and North Carolina barbecue. This is more than a vacation. It's a place that renews your spirit and keeps calling you back. Where in the Outer Banks? Only in the Northern Outer Banks.